All right, everybody say hi.
Hi.
All right.
YouTube.
Over here we have Brecken and Lily and Otto on this side. And we're going to do a step-by-step painting today with you guys. We're going to do the squishy birds. So I want to show you way up front. Yep, there's two different paintings up there you can see. One that has all blues, one that has multiple colors. And I want to go quickly around the table and just have everybody... Exactly, do that. I want you to show me the colors you picked and then what you're going to be painting on. So Brecken.
I picked gray, and that's for the background. White, black, red, green, blue, and orange.
Perfect. And what are you painting on today?
I'm painting on the canvas.
A wrapped canvas. Okay, Lily.
I picked these colors.
Okay, metallics.
And then I'm painting on the wood.
Wood palette. Okay, and Otto.
I picked green, purple, pink, yellow, red, and orange.
Okay, and
My colors.
you are painting on
The board.
the panel board. Okay. Wanted to show that to you so you guys know that you don't have to paint on a canvas at home. You can paint on any of these surfaces, or you can just grab a piece of paper too. You don't have to paint on a canvas or a panel or wood, but you can follow along step by step and just get creative with us. So welcome, my name is Kayleen and I'm going to be walking you through it along with these guys painting today.
We're at
So-
brush strokes.
Yeah.
Brush strokes, yes. So,
Make sure to follow brushstrokes.
And subscribe.
And leave a like for the video.
you watch too many YouTube videos. Okay, so we're gonna get started. I want you guys to know that you don't need all the tools that we have here at Brush Strokes either. Every one of us has different tools we're gonna use today. So,
I have the big brush and a fork.
yep.
I got the medium square brush, the ETT brush.
And your fingers.
Yeah.
Also gonna be used today. And I have
Ha!
Small, medium, and a square brush.
okay, and then I
Like
have
a plastic fork or a metal fork.
a metal fork, yes. I have a big round and a little round, and that's all I'm going to work with today. But no, you can use paper towels. I'll show you some tricks with paper towels. And then I'm going to walk you through it up here step by step. But if I have to ever leave at any point to help customers out, just keep working. Or if you feel like you're getting behind, pause the video and get caught up, and then we'll keep going. Okay? So first, you also want to have a bucket of water, or it could be a little mug at home, or a throwaway cup. But have that next to you, and then some paper towels.
This is it right here.
If you have aprons at home, that's great. If you don't, make sure you're wearing a shirt that doesn't need to get paint on it, and roll your sleeves all the way up if you have long sleeves. Okay. All right, let's get painting. Just know any colors will work. We just have all different colors here to show that you don't have to have the colors that we have here. You can have whatever you have at home to use. Maybe you only have 3 colors, and just make that work. Okay.
And we're doing a background thing, and you don't need to do that.
Yep, so we have whatever you have at home, grab your biggest brush. If you don't have a brush at home, grab a piece of paper towel and rip a piece off, and then you can use that to cover the background for a solid color. We're gonna make ours kind of pearly today, so a shimmery white. So take your brush, and get your bristles wet, and we're gonna add some water to our pearl, which is our shimmery white. It's okay, we're just making a little video. You can keep on shopping behind us. And then just let me know when you're ready, okay? All right, we're taking that shimmery pearl, and what we're gonna do is cover the whole background. So what I like to do on this one is go up and down for the whole background. If you have a wood panel that goes side to side, you can go a different direction. It doesn't have to be up and down. But keep the paint nice and thin. We don't want really thick paint, so I'm just gonna go up and down with my brush. So using just pearl will give it a shimmery white. If you like this look, I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but there is some streaky darker colors. You can always take a little teeny pinch of black, like itty bitty pinch of black, and blend that in, which I'll do in just a minute to show you. But we're just going up and down nice and smooth. Keep adding water if you need it. You can always wipe the excess paint on your paper towel if you're trying to mix and you get too much color. Okay, so up and down, nice and smooth. And I'm going to add a little bit of gray, so I'm going to show you what that's like by taking just a tiny little pinch of black and mix it into my pearly color here. So it just makes it a dark, like a shimmery silver gray. And I'll add a few little touches of that in the background, really, really soft. Great way to fix any whoopsie-doos. If you get too much paint, that's when you grab your paper towel and you rip a little piece off, like this.
Is mine good?
That's very good, yes. You can leave it just like that. Taking this, I'm gonna ball it all up, get my paper towel wet. Yep, everybody's gonna be all different.
You barely can see mine because I only use the shiny stuff by itself.
And wet paper towel to even it out, smooth it out. If it gets too thick on there or too dark, this is how you can lighten it up, okay? Nice and smooth.
I can't even see that.
I know. I want it to be clear back.
Okay? And we're just gonna keep a nice even pace going forward, but remember you can always shut the video off and catch up. So
Or
don't feel
pause
like
it.
You have to,
Yeah, or
pause it.
ketchup. So you get
Ketchup.
ketchup.
Yes.
So you put ketchup on your painting and put it on.
Next, we're gonna work on grass. So, this is where you can use either a fork that you have at home, you can use a smaller brush, which I am going to take this brush and just set it in my bucket of water, the one I use for the background. And I'm gonna move down to a smaller brush, and I only have the 2 brushes today, so I'm gonna use this medium brush. So whatever you have that's a smaller size, or if you have a fork, I'm gonna show real quick with the fork, I'm gonna borrow from Brecken, just to show you what to
You
do
do
with
one.
this. So you take your fork, and it's gonna be black paint, and just kind of dip it in your black paint, and scrape the excess off. So to make your grasses, you're gonna stick your fork, the pointy parts down, and just scrape it up like this. We're gonna make grasses all across the bottom, okay? So wipe that off for Brecken so he can do his own. So make your grasses all across the bottom with the fork, or with a smaller brush, get your bristles wet. Little bit of black paint on there. We start at the bottom, and just do quick little wispies up. And they don't need to be too long. This will be our dark grass that's all along the bottom. You can see across here, we're adding our dark grasses. And since we have a lighter color background, it's okay to add the dark over top of that while it's still wet. Yep, so we're just kind of showing how different it can be. You might need just a little bit more paint on yours than we do with our bristles. It's just to show that they'll look a little bit different with different tools. Okay, so keep working on that. I'll be right back while you guys watch the kiddos here. Wanna come see what I can do?
And that's my grass, YouTube. Kind of tall, but
And here's mine. I used the fork.
I use the little paintbrush. Lily's using the little paintbrush as well, but she's not done yet. She's not done yet. We're gonna go on to the next step without her.
Please
I guess this is how I
like and
can.
subscribe.
Yes. I'm a funny skin worker. Thank you.
Yep, that's a shot.
The best painter. She's in a YouTube video. She wants to sit down. She wants to be in a YouTube video as well.
Come here,
And
honey.
here's our little guest.
Yeah.
It's 10:13.
Hi. You're in a YouTube video. Ooh, you got it. I don't magic.
Oh yeah.
You're in a YouTube video. They got me famous.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you again.
My shoe got untied.
Come on, honey.
It's my new shoe.
Everybody say happy birthday to Edith.
Happy birthday, Edith.
So we're gonna keep going with our video, okay?
Come on, honey.
She's like, I want to just hang here.
Come on, we gotta go.
Gotta go home and create with Mama now.
Are you hungry?
No.
Do you want to watch Elmo?
No more? She said she's
She's way too much attitude.
That's what makes it so fun.
I'm gonna get mean. Here's your shoe. Oh, thank you.
Bye, you guys. Good luck. Okay, so we're going now to, if you have more brushes at home, the smallest brush you can get, because what we're going to actually create next is all of the feet for our bird. It seems weird to do that before actually putting our birds up top. So your smallest brush that you have, not the biggest, you should have a smaller one there, Mr. Barkin. And then we're going to make as skinny legs as we can find. Now you have to decide at this point how many birds you want to make. Because maybe you don't want to do 5. If you want to do one big bird, you could do 2 legs right in the middle. Or if you want to do 2, it's totally up to you how many birds you want to do. But when you start the legs, kind of have an idea of where your birds are going to go. So I like to start with the one in the middle, so I kind of know he's right in the middle of the canvas. That's where that bird will be, and then my legs will go down from there, okay? And then I like to have some with little squiggly legs, and then the rest are straight, but you can have your legs be however you want on your canvas. This is your creation today, so it does not need to match mine. But I'm going to use that same one I was just using, because this is the smallest brush I have today. So a little bit of black paint, and very gentle touch will make a big difference on how big your legs end up being. So if you push really hard, your legs look really big. If you push real gentle, they'll stay nice and small. Did you have a little guy in there?
I'm just gonna.
Oh, okay. Alright, and then a nice gentle touch. So I'm going to start in the middle and just do a really, really light touch and go all the way down to the grass and go right into the grass. So there's my middle bird.
I got pretty tall grass.
Yep.
My grass
And you can make your birds
is
go
this
across
tall.
the top too. That's okay. They don't have to be in the middle.
I mean, my grass is this tall.
Okay. Then I'm going to have like a bird here with squiggle legs because I like that, but he's going to be a little bit taller. So he's going to have nice little fun squiggle legs going down.
Oh no. Got my hair hanging in the grass.
And then I'll have the rest. You can make your legs however you want. Maybe you want a little guy hanging out here. That's fine. They don't have to all squish together
That
either.
looks cool.
Okay. And then I'll do another tall guy here. You can have one leg, maybe those knees are bent in.
That's what I did.
Oh, neat, yeah. Make it different. Don't make it like mine, make it like your own. Oh, I love that. Very cool.
Mine are just straight legs.
Another one way here.
Maybe we could do a one-legged bird.
You could do one-legged bird, like a penguin. A penguin, like a
Flamingo.
flamingo. Penguin, flamingo, yes. Totally different birds.
What's the difference?
And then maybe this down.
One's
maybe just
big.
They both can't fly.
Yeah, they both can't fly. What's a really big? I'm doing the one-legged bird.
They kind of end up looking
With
silly
the black
like that.
paint. It's
Different
not
ways
black
they can be a little
stone.
bit tipped, they can be straight up and down, so they don't have to be all the
This is
same.
my one-legged.
Very nice. Very good. Okay, just sit and hang out. So if you are working with paper, you can do
Can I do-
watercolors. You can do, we're using acrylics, but you can do watercolor. You can do this with crayons.
Can you put one leg out like this?
You can make it however you want. This is your world. You make your crazy legs any which way you
Whoa.
want. Maybe he's kicking something. Maybe he's playing soccer, football, something neat like that. Okay?
Yay.
Just make sure the paint stays pretty thin or it will take a really long time to dry. But if you do it with watercolor or crayons or markers, you can just draw these steps in too. You don't have to paint them in. So find whatever you can at home. It does not need to be actual painting supplies, okay?
I made a
Maybe
black
you're making a
ball.
cake. Make big sheet cake and then make this design with some
I made a
frosting. That'd
black
be kind of
ball
neat.
in the air.
Kicking it around. Very good. When you're done with that, we want to clean our brushes. So anytime you clean your brushes at home, you just squish it in your bucket of water real gentle so it doesn't spray water all over. Squish up and down, or in your cup or your mug or whatever you're using. And then you take that out and scrape it on the side of your cup to get the extra water off. And then wipe it on a paper towel. That will get the color, if there's any color left over in there,
That's how you clean a paintbrush.
that will get all the excess color out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I can paint on it.
And then you can use it again as a mustache. Oh, I can't do it. Very good. Okay. The next step we're gonna do is put the base layer to our birds, so the base color. Now this step, we actually have to do a very thin layer of paint, because we'll come back later and do a second coat of paint that makes it fuzzy. So right now, we're not doing it as bright and bold, because we're gonna add white paint to each step.
Do we use a small brush again?
We're gonna use either a small or a medium brush, depends on which kind of brush you have. So I would do the small brush for you, reckon?
I would use this one.
You can use that one, yep. So whichever one you're comfortable with, or using different sizes, but we're gonna make kind of like a circle shape for the middle one and then the two outside ones. Don't worry about these squishy ones yet. These two here, we're not gonna worry about those quite yet. We're gonna do the middle one first, then we'll do the two outsides, and then we'll leave some room for our squishy guys. But we're gonna make them a little bit different.
I'm only doing.
If you have three, then you can make them like really, really close to each other. Unless you want the middle one to be totally squished, then you do the two outside ones big, and then the middle one will be squishy.
I'm doing.
No, they're not really close to each other.
Okay, then they can have all, they can even be all separated. They don't have to even be touching. All right, I'm using just primary colors today, which means I can mix them together to make different colors. But it's totally up to you what colors you want to use. But I'm going to start with that middle bird. And all we're going to do, like I'm going to do a little bit of yellow, but you have to take a scoop of white paint, regular white paint, if you have it. If you don't, just do it on its own. But I'm going to take a scoop of regular white paint, put it over by the yellow, and mix some yellow and white together. But this can work for any color, except for metallics, because that will make it not so shimmery. So you can make your base
What
layer.
about black and white? Can you mix them?
Yep, because your base layer, well, black is fine, because that's going to be black anyway. But your gray, to make a lighter gray, you can add white to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
So, I have my yellow ready to go. Now the size of my first bird, right in the middle, on my brush I kind of do the silver to the ends of the bristles, but if you have different brushes than I do, it's about 2 inches. If you still don't know what that means, just make it however big you want. It can be different, okay? You have to make sure you don't run through the legs though, because your legs are still wet. So you're gonna take that black and it's gonna smear all the way around if they are still wet. So you're gonna get right next to the legs, but not on top of them, and you're gonna go, whoop, just make a big circle, oval sort of shape, however big you want your middle bird to be, and fill it in with a very thin layer of paint. You don't want it to be too terribly thick, because it will take forever to dry. And then we're just gonna smooth it out, keep it nice and thin. And this is our middle bird to start. Now, if you're mixing colors together, you can use, if you use yellow and blue, you can get a green. If you're going to use yellow and red, you'll get an orange. So you can play around with mixing your colors too to change the color of your birds. So they don't, if you have just your main primary colors, mix them together, get a new different color. Which is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do yellow and blue to make a green for my next bird. So I'm doing mine different than I did the colors here. I'm going to have my next outside bird, the one that's kind of wrapped around the edge of our canvas. That one, like on here, you can see it goes right around the side if you have a wrapped canvas. If you don't, you can get right up to the edge. Today I have just a panel, so I don't have mine to wrap around the side. So, in our next bird, I'm going to
So I can do that.
Yes, you can. I'm going to take a big scoop of my white, or excuse me, my yellow, bring it over by the blue, and mix my blue and yellow together to make a green. And then my next bird is going to be this pretty green color. I'm going to add white to this too, just to lighten it up a little bit. But you can play and mix 2 different colors. Okay.
At the end, can we add extra details?
Yes, you may. It's always fun to add extra on your own details.
Yeah.
Okay, my next bird is going to be this one way off to the side. I want to make sure that I'm leaving room for my squishy bird, this big guy, but this one I want to hit the edge. So I'm going to make kind of a taller oval right next to my legs. And then I'm going to fill that one in solid as well. And then I'll move on to the next one, which will be way over here. You can just keep plugging away and working on those. my brush now. And then I'm gonna go on to make a bluebird. I'm gonna take a big scoop of white though, bring it over there, make a pretty bluebird.
Mommy, I'm gonna take like a break in the middle of it so we can like let our roots dry.
We will tell everybody at home that they can do that, but we'll probably just keep plugging away. All right, this one over here, maybe you want him not to be as big and oval. You can have this one be a different shape. They don't all need to be the same shape, so maybe we have like a little almost round square guy hanging out over here on this side. Your birds could be squares if you wanted to, or triangles, it can be any shape you want. Okay. And then I'll show you how to do the last two that are in between these guys in just a minute. Let you get caught up with that, or pause the video so you can catch up. If you ever need new paper towels, just grab another paper towel. If you're only doing 2 or 3, you might be done already. If you're doing more than that, or even more than 5, it might take you a little bit longer. So I'll show you now how to do the squishy birds in between. So these guys are a little bit different because we're not making the full circle in between them. We're just doing the top curve and the bottom curve to make it look like you squished inside of there. So I'm gonna do the first one red. Very little paint. I'm gonna get as close to my paint as possible on the other birds, but trying not to run through it because it will blend those colors. So I'm gonna get really close to the yellow. I'll make a big curve up, really close to the bottom and the green and my legs. So we're not actually connecting them till we paint it in. So then it looks like it's being squished in between the color I get. Pretty interesting purple. And my last color, my last bird. And another squishy bird right there. Squish between these guys and then fill it in and get as close to your other colors as possible. Try not to run through them. Otherwise your colors will all smear together if they're all wet.
Oh, it's like Viking.
Viking colors.
Purple and yellow are like
You put Viking colors together.
That's not a Viking purple.
Well,
That's
it's
a
still
dark
purple.
purple.
It's still purple. So it's still Viking colors.
Okay, so next, once you're done with your background squishy birds, if you are at home, this is a good time to take a little break to let everything dry. If you want to keep going, then you can take your next colors and start layering them on top, because we do need to do a second coat on these guys, and we need to make them fuzzy, but we can't have the colors be super duper wet, so that's why it's a good time to take a little break. We can also actually do the eyes next, which I want to do just to switch it up a little bit. But we're going to take a little paper towel, a little piece, so everybody work off a little piece of your paper towel.
Mine's all gone.
Get you a new paper towel. There you go. And we're going to make this piece of paper towel as small as we can get it, itty bitty like this. And we are going to take this and shape out where our eyes are going to be. So what we're actually doing is removing the wet paint. So I'm going to start in the middle one because that's my lightest color. And wherever my eyes are going to be, I'm just going to take my dry paper towel and just thin the paint out so it dries really quick. So when we put the white of the eyes on, it doesn't turn the color of the bird. And you might need to get a new piece of paper towel for every eye, for all the colors. And your eyes can be different shapes and sizes. And this doesn't have to be the exact same shape once we actually put the eyes on later. It doesn't need to be exactly the same, okay? So I'm just wiping off some of the paint where the eyes are gonna go. Some of them might be bigger or smaller than what I'm making on here, but it just gives you an idea of where to put them.
I know where I can put mine. I'm ready.
Taking it out of here. What color are you thinking? No, yes, wiping off where my eyes are gonna go. Little pieces of paper towel. Because then we're actually gonna put the eyes on next since we're wiping off the wet paint before we do our fuzzy part to our birds. Okay? Remember, if you need to catch up, just pause the video.
Yep. If you need
Yeah,
to
more
catch
stuff
up to
to our eyes up here.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you want to add some lashes or some crazy eyebrows.
Or a
old school,
mask.
Or a mask, if you want to add a mask on there. But yeah, we'll do that at the very end so that our paint is dry when we add it. Okay. So again, you're going to find your smallest brush whenever you're ready. Make sure it's good and clean because we're going to do just regular white paint to make the base layer to our eyes. So on these eyes, hi, how are you? Good. It's wherever you can find a happy home for them. Thank you. So the white of the eyes, we're going to do the background white, not the little dot in the middle yet, and not the black. We're just going to fill in where the eyes are going to be with white, and then we're going to let them dry for a while we work on the fuzzy part of our birds today. So when we do this, some of mine, like this squishy guy here, he's got one big eye and one little eye, so it looks like he's being squished in, and so his eyes are bulging out. This big, huge bird on the side, he's got tiny little eyes. Same thing with this kind of big, white, fluffy, squishy bird here, 2 different size eyes. So they don't have to be all the same size on each bird. Maybe you want one eye. You can have one eye on a bird, that'd be fine. But I'm just gonna do regular white paint, just a nice little bit of it. And just do a nice thin layer where I wanna put my eyes. And if you have a small brush, the smallest brush is the best one. Very thin layer of white. If you can't see it, maybe get a little bit thicker paint, or your background color is still too wet. And it's hard to see on the yellow, because the yellow is a really light color.
Yeah.
So that might be why you're not seeing it. Thank you. And I'm just going to keep adding to my eyes. If you need to clean out, if you got some wet paint, like if I had some wet yellow, clean that before you move on to the next bird, or you'll have yellow eyes in your next bird.
That's why I have green on my gray bird.
That would be why. Which maybe he wants green eyes. He's got angry, like, he got nuclear eyes.
Or green.
I'm going to put yellow on.
If you run out of white paint, you go and ask an awesome neighbor if you can steal some. Neighbor, I'm going to steal some. Is that okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
I just take it all.
So I'm still going. I'm going to add white to all my eyes.
No,
And I'm using the medium brush, but use whatever size brush you can.
It is easier for you. We're not even gonna use our fingers.
I'll show you. If you need to use your fingers, I'll show you in a minute where we can do that. We do one little eye and one big eye on this one. He's gonna be my squishy guy today. And my last bird. He's gonna have long, skinny eyes. And there's no such thing as being perfect in painting, so just have fun with it. Know that everybody's is gonna look a little bit different, and they don't have to look like mine, they don't have to look like these guys, it's gonna look like your own, but you're gonna see at the end of the day today how different everybody's turns out, and they will be just fine. Okay? So next, I think we'll do some fuzziness to all of our birds. When we add the fuzziness, we have to just stay away from the eyes. That's why we did our first layer of white on the eyes so they could dry a little bit. And this is where you could either use some fingers to make some fuzziness. You can do your birds all different ways. Maybe you want to keep them nice clean circles without fuzzies. That's okay too. I'll show you first a bird with the fuzzies. So I'm gonna go back to the first bird you did, which was the yellow. I'll show you with a brush, and then I'll show you the next bird with a finger. So you can see. Okay, then you can do a second layer of paints with just your main color. If you don't want fuzzy birds, you just do a second coat, because it has to be solid, that color, otherwise it's too see-through. Okay, so to make your fuzzy birds, what you'll do is fill in, on top of your same color, but you're making little dashes. Little fuzzy dashes like this, and then when you get outside of the line, you just go a little bit further so it makes the edges all fuzzy. Just be careful when you're overlaying other colors that they're not still wet, like that one. You just wipe down, and it pulls the color through. You just wipe it off, and keep going. cover it right up. So that's why sometimes it's good to take a break, let everything dry before you continue on. So I'm just working on my second coat here
Then why don't we take a break?
because they can pause the video and then continue on later. But if we take a break now, then the video keeps going on break time. That's why we don't.
But how will everything dry?
Yeah. Why can't we just
So-
pause us making the videos and
Because then I have to fuse the videos together.
Well, why don't we do it?
Do you want to be part of the video or not? Then please listen. I want to have this in the video, okay? Please listen. So I'm making this guy fuzzy all the way around. So next one I'm gonna do is a red bird, but I'll do that with my fingers so you can kind of see how different it will look. So just take one of your fingers and then you can maybe do a tapping fuzzy. So I'm tapping the texture on there. You can get the edge of him all fuzzy. Or you can swipe it if you want to try to get a swipey edge to it. So you can kind of finger paint too. If you don't have brushes, we can make it work with whatever. Okay. I'm gonna make him like crazy fuzzy. Lots of tapping, tapping, tapping.
Could you even use your nose to
No,
paint?
probably not. Not a good idea.
But it would still work.
So we're going to use brushes or fingers
Or
or
noses.
forks.
Or noses.
Okay.
Or hair. Or other paint.
Okay. So keep working on that and add fuzzy texture to all of your birds if you're gonna add it. If you're not gonna add it, please sit down and quit making faces. All right. Next one is my green guy, so I'm just gonna keep plugging along here, making fuzzy fuzzies. You got long, long fuzzies. It looks like you got electrocuted a little bit. Go over top the black of the leg so it looks like his legs are behind all the fuzzies. If your birds are dry enough, you can add a layer over top like this where the red and the green meet. I'm making some of the green go over top of the red so it looks like that red bird's in back. And then we'll do blue and purple last. You can make all the fuzzies all different.
We're not copying. That's copywriting.
I don't wanna hear it that far away.
You guys can't hear this out, right?
Alright, purple is last on mine. Whichever color bird you have last. Out of these, purple is my last bird. And then what we have left after this is doing the beak and then the inside of the eyes to finish up our birds. So I'm gonna go back to my yellow and make them a little bit fuzzier now, because he's my middle one, so I'm gonna make it fuzzy all the way around, but that light color is hard to overlap. There. So they're squished together. You might see it grab some of that red into the yellow, which is okay. All their bird feathers are intertwined, so it's okay. You can think about extra things you want to add. Maybe you want a little bee flying around up here, or a butterfly, or maybe you want to do another layer of grasses that are green on top of the black grasses to make it a different color to pop out a
Or the
little bit
sun.
more. Or the sun, yeah. You can
That's
added
what I'm
stuff
gonna
to
do.
make it your own. So we're gonna next do the base layer of the black for the eyes, and then we're gonna work on the beak, and then we'll come back and do the highlights, and that will finish us up. So that first layer of black that we're gonna put on to the eyes goes over top of the white. Little different things you can use. If you don't have a tiny brush or a little teeny end to it, use the other side like this. Or if you don't have a brush, use the other side of your fork or just something round so you can kind of just tap that on there. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take this in black paint and I'm gonna make some dots inside of the eyes. If you had two different color eyes, different size eyes, you can do one big and one small. So that's how you can kind of work your inside to your eyes, and I'm just kind of swirling it on. You can come on in.
It's like fun.
Yeah.
Can I bring you in a little gift?
Yes.
Just making sure you're open.
That would be wonderful.
Well, if it's $1 million.
That would be really
What if it's $1,000 million?
So add in the black
She
to your
passed it out.
eyes.
And then I just take it off.
And then you got little dots on this one, or maybe one of your birds has a big dot and a little dot.
What if we
So
don't
I
want any dots?
Dragging. How's he gonna see? So this is the
No,
inside,
no.
this is the pupil of your
Oh,
bird.
I thought you were talking about the shiny white dot.
Oh, no, not yet. I'm trying to do the insides of the eyes with the hard end, the handle end of my brush. Then you can wipe that off too as soon as you're done. Okay,
I
working
think
on that, 2 steps left.
2 are.
Robin.
Okay, how's everybody catching up?
Bad guy.
Green hair.
Okay, we have our beaks left to do, so we're gonna do those with orange, or if you have a really dark, you might need to do orange and white together. And again, if you need to take a break, then you let it dry before you come back, because if it's really thick, it's gonna turn some of that color, which sometimes it's okay if it's like a lighter color, but darker colors are gonna blend in pretty, quite a bit, okay? So, your smallest brush you have, with orange or orange and white mixed together. I'm gonna do pearl and orange just because I have more of that on my plate. And your smallest brush you have, or your smallest tool. And when you do your beaks, you can just do a little swipe or try to make it look like a triangle or make it look like a candy corn shape. I'm gonna do a quick swipe today, like a little curve and a swipe. Yep. To keep it nice and easy. And then you can have them look in different directions, like maybe this guy's gonna be up and down. This guy's kind of looking that way, this one's just straight forward, being squished in there. My middle guy's gonna have his beak off to the side. Quick, easy little swipes, or you can make a full triangle shape if you got a nice little brush. This one I'm gonna have a tiny little beak, bitty bitty. And then this guy's gonna look the big old beak this way. Okay? So add in your beaks, and then the last thing we'll do is a little highlights in the eyes and on the beaks, and then that will finish us up, and then I want to show you how everybody's turned out. Okay. Well, you added the highlights already on your eyes. Okay. So, once you're done with that step, we'll take again the handle side like this, not the bristle side, we'll do the handle end. And either some white or some pearl.
Wait, this side?
Yep. Your smallest brush, very good. And you dip it in white or pearl, and you pull it out really fast, and you get a teeny tiny little cone on the end of that brush. And that's what you'll use as your highlights in the eyes. So little dots on all the eyes in the black part, like the upper left, and all the eyes get a little highlight. This will make your eyes come to life. If you're ever painting or drawing anything, always have that little highlight to the eyes to make it come to life. And then you can use the same, either use your bristle side or use the same little touch for a highlight on top of the beaks. Just drag it real gentle. Itty bitty little bit. So it looks like the sun is shining down on your beaks and it's highlighting them. A little bit is all you need. You don't need a lot of that highlight on the beaks. And then if you want to add eyebrows or anything like that, I think just for fun cutesies today, I'm going to add eyebrows. Just think about the direction eyebrows go, because you might have angry brows, which you could have your angry birds all squishy together. So if I do my little teeny brush, maybe I want to do like surprise squished eyes. Like, oh no, what do I do? Ah, she's all squished in
Can
there.
I wait until it's over?
Yes.
Make my other stuff.
Me too. I'm gonna wait. Well, I'm not gonna do the rest of
Okay. So I'm just having my squishy guys with eyebrows today.
Look
And
at
I
me.
do want to show you quickly how everybody's turned out. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I like the squiggly legs too.
These are mine.
Darling. All right, I want to show you everybody's. Lily's still working a little bit, but
I
as they're
tell them
finishing
their
up,
names?
yes, please do.
I'm gonna tell them.
All right, we'll go with Brecken first. Let's see your finished.
My middle one is Batman.
Batman.
That one is Robin.
Yeah.
And that one is Joker.
And oh, I love it. And what's flying behind him?
Robin hit a ball.
Kapoof. I see his legs up in the air. Very cute.
Wait,
All right.
I'm going to add
Oh.
more detail.
Okay, you do that. Lily.
These are
Super
mine.
cute.
You can't really see the gray one, but it's silver.
You can see it when it turns in the light just right, but yeah, the super pretty metallics. She used all shimmery metallics, so when you twist it in light, it reflects the light back. And they're super shimmery and very pretty. Very nice on the wood pallets, very neat. Right, and Otto, you did the panel.
This one's name is Bob,
Bob?
and this one's name is Deer.
Okie dokie, that's different. And yeah, you can see how many different numbers of birds. So we had 3, 5, 2, and mine, I did 5 up on mine up there today.
Wait, I need to
Oh,
put
he's
my
adding his details. And the sunshine. Finishing up. If you want to add extra little details to your own, you absolutely can. Make it custom to you, make it fun. So it can be always different. Okay, so everybody hold them all up at the same time so we can see them. And we're gonna give a little flipperoo like this. Oh, that was not a flipperoo like that. Sorry, I gotta flip you. I don't want to flip you sideways. Okay, everybody smile. Thanks for being our painters today, and thank you everybody for painting along with us. I'm gonna swivel over like this.
And remember, like
Yay.
and subscribe.
Appreciate you
Remember
guys.
to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.
Oh my goodness. Okay, have fun. Stay creative. Paint a bunch, create a bunch.
Bye.
Enjoy it. Stay inside. Go outside. Use tools from outside to paint too. You could get leaves from outside and sticks to make your own tools. So thank you so much for creating.
Wait, I need